Yeah, absolutely. At that point, I had known Asma and Aksa for about a year. But again, Aksa had her own family, so I really spent more time with Asma. And yeah, her family considered me one of them, you know.
Oh, so where do they live?
They live in West Palm Beach. So they live pretty far. I would always have to make a drive to go see her, but I didn't mind. I would stay there with her. She has a whole bunch of sisters. So it's just like a girl's house for the most part. So it's really nice. And that same year I started fasting.
So did they tell you to fast?
No, no.
Being around them,
just being around them.
You just felt like fasting.
I was like, I'm gonna stand in solidarity because I've always been very supportive of any type of marginalized or, you know, minority groups, or because, you know, I'm part of minority group. So I said, oh, I'm just gonna do this, see what it's like, just to support my friends. And it was a really nice experience. I tried to do it, you know, the right way. Obviously I didn't know the prayers or anything like that, so I didn't do that aspect, but I tried to, you know, not listen to music during the day and you know, things like that, you know, try to watch my language and things like that. So it helped a lot. It kind of helps you refocus, I guess, because fasting in itself is good for your body. So it affected my mind also in a positive way. So,
because when your body or your physical desires are controlled, you know, your mind takes a whole different pattern.
Yeah,
your soul, you start contemplating, pondering. It really leads you to some line of meditation.
Yeah.
And in the Islamic world, you get into deep spirituality.
Right. Exactly.
But when you eat and you drink, or overeat and overdrink, then you just think very physical.
Right. Exactly. You just focus on that.
And that's what happens, and that's one of the logistics. The logistics, beside the spirituality of fasting, that the pangs of hunger and the whole 9 yards that go with it, it really helps to control your mind.
Exactly.
So you started getting some spiritual eye-openers.
Yeah, it helps you be more introspective too. You start to say, well, what else can I do to make things better in my life? What else can I do to stay more focused?
So did you feel very hungry?
As well,
not being a Muslim and here you fasting for the first time in your life, how was it?
Yeah, so I would get hungry and stuff, but I wouldn't try to think about it. I'd try to stay busy. So at the time I was just studying. I wasn't really working at the time, so I was focused on studies, reading a lot, and just trying to get my mind off of the food part, because I was just thinking, well, if like billions of people can do this, like I can give it a shot. Like,
but that's
why
interesting
not?
That you're not a Muslim, but you're fasting.
Right.
Wow. What about your other non-Muslim friends? How did they think about you, seeing that you're fasting and you are into this sort of Islamic sort of practices? Well, I mean, not too much, but just the fasting. Did you have any non-Muslim friends who would make comments about that?
Nothing negative. They were just like, oh, like, what's that like? Like, so you can't drink water? You know, the usual comments, oh, not even water, not even this. And, but they're like, oh, I was like, why are you doing it? I was like, oh, just doing it just to support my sisters. That was basically the point. So, you know, people were interested, but thankfully I never got any like negative or backlash for anything that I did. So it was nice.